What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel again. I'm really excited to be here to talk about the most anticipated album of my life. For real. This is incredible. It's finally here. It's a new Chevelle album, Niratias. And it finally came in the mail today, but as soon as I saw it on YouTube Music 3 days ago, I realized I had access to the album. So I downloaded the digital version off their website and listened to it. And honestly, I was neutral the first time I heard it. I was even disappointed. I was just like, I have no idea what I feel right now. So Long Mother Earth definitely stood out to me as a song that I knew I was going to love forever. Verrucht also I loved. I thought it was cool. It didn't even bother me that there were no vocals. It was just a solid, heavy intro to a new Chevelle album that made you get excited for the rest of the album. And I think a big part of the problem I was having was that I was super excited to hear the new songs, so that when I was listening to the songs that were singles, I was more just worried about getting to the next song and hearing what the new stuff was. But I didn't want to skip anything. I wanted to hear everything in its full context within the album. And after listening to it a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, I think I'm on like 9 or 10 right now, I don't know, I have realized how amazing this album is. Every single song, with the exception of Wormhole and Lost in Digital Woods, I think play a really important part in the feel of this album. So Long Mother Earth has got that really crazy, kind of sad and melancholy vibe to it that just makes you feel like you're traveling through something in your mind. I have no idea what I'm traveling through, but I love it. And after that it goes to Mars Signal, which is just a heavy-hitting, super exciting, energetic Chevelle song, and then it goes to Sleep the Deep, which I think is a cool transition track. It's really short, but I think it does what it's supposed to do to kind of get you to the next song. And then Destructor, obviously a really cool song that I've probably heard more than any other song on this album because it was the first single. And then Pistol Star, after a few listens, I think Pistol Star has become my favorite song on this album. I just love the way it develops. Pistol Star and Peach and So Long Mother Earth, I think have really unique structures. It seems like they almost all have two verses before the chorus. So they have a verse and then it transitions into a bridge, but the bridge portion almost feels like another verse because it's so long, and it has a chorus. And so they bounce back between the parts of the song. So structurally speaking, I think they're all very interesting, and I think Pistol Star is a very unique riff throughout the song. It almost reminds me of a Monomarth, if you're familiar with them. Of course, instrumentally speaking, not with vocals. And then Wormhole, not a huge fan of Wormhole. I think they should have just put it with Peach. It's just the intro to Peach extended. So, not sure why they would have done that. I don't know what that does to make the album better. So, but there's nothing wrong with it. I think it should just be Peach. And then Test Enough, I think this is the song I'm most excited to hear live. I cannot wait to hear this song live. I think it'll be so cool. Lights off, you just experience a heavy Chevelle song, you're ready to kind of like close your eyes and relax a little bit before something else heavy comes on. This is the song. This song has that reverbed guitar, echoey, ambient feel to it. I love ambient music, and I don't know if that's why I love this song so much, but it's really cool. And then Endlessly, I didn't like the acoustic version of Endlessly a ton. I rarely ever like acoustic music if it doesn't have some form of percussion accompanying it. So for example, the Revenge acoustic version, I love that song, but when I heard the acoustic version of Endlessly, I was a little bit skeptical. It kind of seemed a little bit too emotional, a little bit whiny, which I think is something that I experience with every acoustic song, especially if it has a male vocalist. But hearing the studio version has made me like both versions better. I think they both have very cool feels to them that are different from each other. And then Endlessly on the album version is just very like very soundtracky. I don't know, like it's very exciting and melancholy, and the guitar is it never gets heavy, but I love the way it feels. And then Remember When, like another great track. I think it's cool that they put those two together because I think those two melodic songs next to each other, I don't know, it gets you in this rhythm that you can keep for one song and then go to the next song instead of going from melodic to heavy to melodic to heavy. It kind of puts you in the groove. And then Ghost and Razor has a La Gargola feel to it. It's probably the song I've connected to the least on the album, as out of the 10 non-spoken word / short instrumental tracks. But I really like it. La Gargola is probably my second or third favorite Chevelle album, so I love it. And then, like I said, Lost in Digital Woods. Not a huge fan of it, to be honest. I think it kind of, I don't know. I don't really like, I don't think it takes away from the album. The album is complete and full. And I think that was something the first time I was a little bit worried about, because I'd already heard 3 of the songs and heard the acoustic version Endlessly. And so I felt like the release day, I was like, well, I'm only actually hearing half of the album if you count the 2 really short tracks and the spoken word track. But then after listening to the full album and hearing all the singles together with the transition tracks, the other new full songs, I love it. And I think this album is going to be one of the greatest Chevelle albums. I can't rank it specifically at 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5 or whatever, but I think it's definitely going to be in the top half of their discography. It's just got a vibe to it that I don't think you can beat. I don't think you can beat it with their previous albums, with most of their previous albums. And so Chevelle's done it again, and it's definitely a step up from the last album, The North Corridor, which I think was one of their worst albums, but that's Chevelle standards, which every Chevelle album, in my opinion, with the exception of point number 1, would be in my top 15 favorite rock albums. I listen to them so much. So this being a step up from the North Corridor is saying a lot. It's a great album. Check it out. If you've only heard it twice or 3 times, don't like it, check it out again. I'm not guaranteeing you're going to like it, but it's definitely something that's grown on me now to the point where I'm dying to listen to it all the time. So let me know your thoughts below. Let me know what you liked, disliked, what stood out to you, and excited to release some more content with you guys about music and just other things. So stay tuned.